Hi, I'm Zanny and I'm a Dauntless partner. Phoenix Labs was kind enough to let me show off the sword rework in its full glory. I'll be covering the new combos, the new mods, as well as some tips and tricks to help you get started when the sword rework finally drops. Let's get to it. First things first, let's start off with the basics. Your light attack combo is your fastest combo, and doesn't consume any stamina. Your rolling light attack is also fairly fast and covers a significant amount of distance. Unfortunately, sword light attacks also had their interrupt capability removed with the rework, even if you hit with a rolling light attack. This is pretty significant since rolling light attacks were a pretty big staple of sword interrupts. Heavy attacks are slower, consume stamina, but deal more damage than their light counterpart. Heavy attacks can also interrupt, both normally and with rolling attacks. I actually find that standing heavy attacks are pretty easy to interrupt with since the first attack in the combo comes out pretty quickly. The rolling attack feels a little weird to use since the start of the animation takes a bit to go through before you actually attack. But the biggest thing to change with the sword is the introduction of Valor. Valor is the resource you generate by performing light or heavy attack combos. Light attacks generate 1 Valor while heavy attacks generate 2. You spend Valor by performing 1 of 4 combos, each with their own distinct uses. Crescent Strike can be performed with 2 light attacks, and 1 heavy attack to deal a quick burst of damage. It's an easy and effective way to spend your Valor, and offers solid burst for quickly getting a stagger off, or for breaking apart. Resounding Echo can be performed by heavy attacking, light attacking, and then heavy attacking again to create a pool of Aether that deals damage over time. Using Resounding Echo against a staggered behemoth is a great way to deal passive damage while you're going back to building Valor with your core combos. It's also a great way to passively build up your special meter as well as gaining some lantern charge. Holding your light attack button will cause you to perform Blade Rush, allowing you to instantly dash and deal damage to anything you connect with. Blade Rush is good for gap closing as well as dealing decent burst damage when you have no other options. It really shines with one of the new mod choices, which I'll go over later. You can't interrupt with Blade Rush, which is unfortunate, but it's no big deal, especially since Blade Surge makes interrupting a joke. Blade Surge is activated whenever you hold your heavy attack button, causing you to send out a projectile that can interrupt behemoths. This makes interrupts a breeze and is one of the best parts of the sword's new arsenal. All 4 combos, from Crescent Strike to Blade Surge, cost 3 Valor. Overall, the sword rework adds more versatility to the sword's kit, reinforcing the idea of the weapon being a jack of all trades. With the combos out of the way, let's take a look at the new mods for sword introduced with the rework. Charge Sword Focus causes Resounding Echo to detonate after a period of time, instead of doing damage over time, and increases its total damage by 50%. This is a pretty situational mod, since a behemoth can very easily move out of the way of the Resounding Echo mine, meaning you'll have pretty much wasted 3 Valor if it misses. I'd really only recommend this for fights like Charog or Quillshot, since they tend not to move too dramatically. Dynamic Blade Core increases your next Valor combo's damage by 30% after you've already used a Valor combo. This is an overall solid and straightforward mod, offering increased damage for using your Valor spenders. Not much to say, other than it's a great choice for damage output. Keen Edge causes your Blade Surge projectile to deal 100% increased damage after traveling for a short distance. This mod is way too situational and niche to make good use out of, and I can't really justify running it over something like Dynamic Blade Core. Very rarely are you going to be at a distance where the damage is going to actually take effect. On top of that, setting up for the increased damage is much more work than just going hard with your core combos. Not a very good mod, but it could open the door for some interesting meme builds. Mending Blade Core restores 30 health for every Valor gained or spent. This is really good for newer players since gaining and spending Valor is the whole purpose of your kit. Having an easy way to restore a small portion of your health without breaking the flow of combat is pretty valuable. Otherwise, this is a decent option if you need healing in your kit, but Iceborne exists for a reason. Lastly, Recursive Hilt is one of, if not the, best sword mod in the game. Using Blade Rush restores 20 stamina and generates 3 Valor over 9 seconds. This means that Blade Rush essentially pays for itself, and gives you some good stamina returns to boot. This is easily one of the best mods due to how it influences the flow of combat, especially with the passive Valor generation. Sword specials receive some pretty interesting changes to accommodate the rework. I'll be briefly going over how specials work for newer players. Every time you deal damage with a core combo or Valor combo, you'll build a special meter. When the bar is full, you can activate one of 3 special abilities which you'll be able to change before a hunt. Every time you use a core combo or Valor combo during your special, it'll extend how long your special lasts for. The very first special you'll have access to as a new player is Valiant Overdrive. Valiant Overdrive increases your attack speed by 20% and causes your attacks to deal AoE damage. Valiant Overdrive also generates 1 point of Valor every 4 seconds, and you can reactivate Valiant Overdrive to spend a point of Valor to dash in a direction. Ardent Cyclone is unlocked through leveling your sword weapon mastery and causes you to spin to win upon activation. Spinning makes you immune to knockdown, but you'll still take damage, so be wary of that. You generate 1 point of Valor every 4 seconds while spinning, and reactivating Ardent Cyclone causes you to slash in a direction protection. Avenging Overdrive is arguably the best sword special in the game and is unlocked from trials. Activating Avenging Overdrive causes you to parry an incoming behemoth attack, dealing damage to it as well as generating a point of valor. Reactivating Avenging Overdrive will cause you to parry subsequent attacks, generating more valor every time you land a successful parry. Before I show off some gameplay, I wanted to give you guys a few tips to help you out when you finally get to try the new sword rework. Rolling light and heavy attacks count as the first attack of their own respective combos, so keep that in mind when you're dodging away from attacks or closing the gap between you and a behemoth. If you need to quickly get off damage to fish for an interrupt or to spend your valor, use Crescent Strike over Resounding Echo. Alternatively, for behemoths that don't move around a lot or behemoths that are staggered, Resounding Echo offers some solid passive damage. The most efficient way to generate valor is to start with a light combo and then follow it with a heavy combo to generate 3 valor. Pretty easy. That's all I can think of off the top of my head. But if you have any questions related to the sword rework, go ahead and ask me on my Twitch. I'll be streaming for the next 5 days and I'll be happy to answer your questions there. I've left a link to my Twitch down below. Otherwise, enjoy some endgame gameplay with the new sword. If you like my content, feel free to like and subscribe for more of my videos. Otherwise, take care and enjoy the show.